Before we delve into this pile of dog shit, I want to suggest a basic rule of thumb, a heuristic if you like, that's applicable to these type of situations. And it's simply this. Whenever you see a celebrity, whether it's a TV or movie star, maybe a musician, get involved in some type of social or political issue, you can safely ignore them. Because generally, they're badly informed, know as little or even less than the average person about the issue they profess to care about. For example, little Hermione that blathers on endlessly about how oppressed women are without having the faintest idea that men have it just as bad or even worse, because rather than research evidence for herself and come to her own conclusions, she mindlessly repeats feminist talking points. Or they're complete hypocrites, like Bryan Adams, who recently cancelled a concert in the state of North Carolina because of that state's stance on transgender bathrooms, taking the moral high ground with statements like this. But he's happy to play concerts in countries that kill or jail people just for being gay. And let's not forget George Clooney, who rails against money in politics whilst throwing a $350,000 a plate fundraiser for Hillary Clinton. Or Leonardo DiCaprio, who travels the world to lecture us all about climate change, while seemingly oblivious to the fact that his own carbon footprint is bigger than just about everybody else on the planet. Now, I like George Clooney. I like his movies. Same with DiCaprio. Bryan Adams, I think I've probably had enough of for one lifetime. And I think Kristen Bell can be funny, although, as will become obvious, not in this situation.
Is your company looking to maximize their output while cutting back on costs? Why outsource all your production to faraway countries like India, China, and Narnia when we have the cheapest and best workforce right here in the good old US of A? Women. That's right. With Pink sourcing, women are a bargain at the workplace since you only have to pay them 77 cents on the dollar. Right, Kathy?
Wait, what? I make 60 cents. Who are you, Bill Gates?
¿De qué? I make 55 cents. Who is she, Yeezy?
No, come on. Those are men.
So let's spell out the obvious flaw that completely eviscerates the premise of this ridiculous video. If those greedy corporations could actually pay women substantially less for doing the same job, whether it's 77 cents, 60 cents, or 50 cents on the dollar, or whatever the number feminists have decided on this week. Why don't they? Labour costs are often the biggest expense of any business. If you could slash your labour costs, why aren't businesses everywhere clamouring to do so and hiring only women?
Even more importantly, you don't have to pay women overtime. They'll never ask for a raise, and they don't complain about their working conditions. Right, Kathy?
This is unbelievably ignorant. Women get paid less overtime because they work less overtime. And if you're referring to extra hours at the office that's unpaid, men do more of that as well. And yeah, studies have shown that women are less inclined to ask for a raise or negotiate salaries with potential employers. Well, whose fault is that? If you want to get paid more, ladies, woman up and grow some ovaries, instead of invoking the poor, oppressed women's narrative. Because contrary to what the Huffington Post would have you believe, most women aren't that pathetic. And they don't complain? What fucking planet do you live on? Women complain about the air conditioning. Women now think if they overhear a comment about another woman, this is now sexual harassment. And they want to ban words they don't like. But again, not all women. It's usually the feminist crybabies.
Don't forget, women are great at remembering birthdays. They're the only ones who bring baked goods into the office. And they smell nice.
Oh, so remember how women don't complain? Now they're complaining that they're the only ones that remember birthdays. You see, the thing about men is that most of us don't give a fuck about birthdays. We couldn't care less. But if you're going to bake cookies, we're happy to eat them. And if you don't like it, keep them all for yourself and make yourself even fatter. We don't give a shit.
Also, you don't have to pay for women's birth control. And if they do get knocked up, when they leave to have the baby, you get off scot-free. But don't worry, guys. Your boner pills are still covered.
And what would a feminist-inspired video be without a false equivalency? How is Viagra even remotely equivalent to female contraception? I'm fairly sure condoms aren't covered by health plans. And don't worry about maternity leave. You know that idea that a company should pay you while you don't work there? Because the Democrat running as a Republican Trump is already on to that.
Best of all, you can promote literally anyone else besides them, especially if they're less qualified.
You're late for the 3 o'clock cuddle.
Ooh, sorry, Kathy.
My name is Sharon. Bitch.
Yeah, because of all those quotas and affirmative action laws that ensure unqualified men get to positions in front of women. Yeah, fucking right.
After all, women don't even really want to be working anyway. They'd rather be home, taking care of the family, while their husband gets to make life choices and follow his dreams and play fantasy football.
It's not that women would prefer to be at home, but there's plenty of evidence to suggest that women that stay home and look after children have just as fulfilling lives, if not more so, than working women. Some women thrive in the workplace and some prefer to be at home. And that's no less a life choice than pursuing a career. Except if you're a feminist that doesn't like children and despises the family. So mercifully, that brings us to the end of this pungent turd of a video. And to be honest, that was totally expected given it came from the Huffington Post. But thankfully it seems that most normal people can see this bullshit for what it is.